Good morning. The sun is high in the sky. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in the UK, and I hope you're enjoying it wherever you are. This is Paul Green from buyahouseforless.co.uk, and I'm your property best friend. Today I'd like to talk with you about talking to estate agents. One little caveat here. This video is based on my own personal experience and should not be considered to be financial advice. If you're in any doubt, please consult a qualified financial advisor. Now, I'm not a big fan of estate agents. If you've looked at the main Buy Your House for Less website for more than 10 seconds, you'll see that I have a nice little section on them. However, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to have a little bit of fun with estate agents on this video, as you can probably tell already. So why do I dislike estate agents so much? Well, because before I invested in myself with some serious house buying education, I got ripped off by estate agents using their little tricks on a number of occasions. Don't get me wrong, estate agents are generally nice people. They are paid to be, but the key thing to remember is that the estate agent is not your friend. Yes, they smile when they see you. Yes, they are polite and may offer you a cup of tea or coffee and talk about how they can help you, but they are all very self-serving. They have a keen eye on their commissions, and when you walk through the door, all they see is this. Sorry to have to tell you the truth, but to them you are just money on legs. So, in short, with regard to estate agents, my best advice is to get them out of the picture as soon as possible. I'm just going to emphasize one point here. You cannot interfere in the contract between the vendor and the estate agent, but that doesn't mean that the estate agent has to accompany you on the viewing, does it? So let me tell you why I dislike estate agents. Just imagine that you're going into a prize boxing match with a worthy opponent. As you step into the ring, your opponent has the 8-foot gorilla with them. The gorilla is smiling and eating bananas. The bell rings and you spend a minute or two weighing up your opponent. And just as you're lining up to throw your best punch that will win the fight, all of a sudden the gorilla steps in and says, "I'll take that blow for you." You imagine it's not going to be much of a fair fight, is it? And who's going to succeed in this match? Chances are it isn't you. Not unless you get some special skills to either get the gorilla out of the ring or disarm them so you can get in your blow. This is what this video is all about. If you've watched the video where Mr. Bailey talks about estate agents, when asked what value they provide, his words were, "Not a lot after the house viewing has been organised." Alas, I'd have to agree. The good thing about estate agents is, A, they smile a lot, and B, they generally have a good stock of houses. And not much else, I'm afraid. The main video has a 30 or 40 minute section on the influencing techniques that estate agents use on you to get you to pay more money. I've put this pack together so you can spot their little techniques when they play them, but also so that you can play the same tools and some others I provide on the vendor to support your nice, healthy discount. Let me be clear here. If these techniques are good enough for estate agents to use on you to hike up the price, they are good enough for you to use on the vendor to get a discount. Are they not? So my aim with the Buy Your House for Less video is to get the estate agent out of the way during the negotiation phase so you can talk to the vendor directly. This makes the whole process simpler. You still need to make the offer formally through the estate agent, but the negotiation process is a lot easier when you are talking to the vendor direct face to face and the estate agent does not attend the viewing. Although the main video gives you some tips to get the estate agent away from the viewing, here are 3 more. I can't promise they'll work every time, but the rest of this video shows you how to manage the estate agents during the negotiation phase if you can't shake them off during the viewing. So let me give you 3 additional strategies to the ones provided in the main video about how to get the estate agent away from the viewing. The first one is do the viewing after the estate agent's shop is closed. This means that you need to make an appointment to view the property when the estate agent's shop is closed and they've gone home. For instance, this could be 7 o'clock at night. So I asked the question, would you do a house viewing at 7 o'clock at night if it meant you were going to get 20,000 off the price? Actually, when I asked myself, I would do yes. The next one is view on Monday or Tuesdays or early week. And the reason for this is a lot of estate agents' business happens when they are when people are not at work over the weekend. The estate agents will typically spend a lot of time working up their viewing book for a busy Friday and weekend, which means they usually have their rest period on a Monday or Tuesday. The chances of not having an estate agent attend your viewing are a lot better when you view the house earlier in the week. And finally, take a second visit to the house. This is quite a successful strategy and has been used by other successful buyers of my product. The chances are that the estate agent will not want to visit a house a second time because they've already shown you around the house, and if you do make another viewing when they're busy, they will probably not want to show you around the house again. So this has been a very successful strategy. One thing to point out here is if you do plan to make a second viewing, don't put an offer in after the first viewing. Hold fire until you get to talk to the vendor directly using the techniques you're going to get on the main video. So let's just say you've not shaken off the estate agent and they still want to accompany you on the viewing. So how do you talk to the estate agent to get them on your side and increase your influence? That's simple. You just need to talk to them the way they like to talk to each other, and that's about them getting their sales commission. The main video has all the things you need to provide the estate agent on your first meeting to get their full and undivided attention. So I'm not going to repeat this. I'll assume you have this already sorted. But you'll need to perform these activities to get over the first hurdle and look good in front of your estate agent. So when you first meet the estate agent, gently drop into the conversation that you can act quickly. This means you can help them get their sales commission as fast as they can. You could say something like, when I find the right house, I'll put an offer in quickly. The vendor wants to sell, I want to buy, and I'd like you to get your sales commission as quick as possible. Or you can make up something similar, depending on how appropriate it is at that particular point in time. The fact that you are talking about them getting their commission to them as fast as possible tells them you know their needs and you're the sort of person that they want to do business with. So should the estate agent wish to attend your viewing, what should you expect and how should you handle it? Well, firstly, you'll get the smiling estate agent and they'll show you around the house. As you go into the kitchen, they'll say something like, I think this is the kitchen. As you're wandering around the house, you'll go into the bathroom and they'll say, and this is the bathroom. But if you're following the main sales video, you want to get to engage in getting to your best price by negotiating directly with the vendor. This is where the estate agent's ears will really prick up when you start to talk about money. This does of course assume that you wish to discuss price on the first viewing. It's your call, naturally. When you get into price conversations, the estate agent may intervene and may state that they are responsible for handling negotiations between you and the vendor. This is the gorilla taking the power punch for the vendor. In other words, I'm protecting the sales price for the vendor and my commissions. At this point in time, I'd usually handle this by agreeing with the estate agent about negotiations, but you are not negotiating on price at this point in time. You are simply trying to understand the flexibility of the vendor on price and qualifying the house as a potential purchase. And I repeat again, you are not at this point in time negotiating on price. You're trying to understand the vendor's position. Then you repeat that when it comes to negotiations and the offer, you will of course come to the estate agent and that you will want to buy the house quickly so that the purchase can be made as early as possible. So how do you negotiate with the vendor? The whole of the main product gives you the tools and techniques which drive you to this point of the negotiation with the vendor on price. At this point in time, these precious few seconds are where you're going to make your savings and get the best possible discount. But it does take just a little bit of skill, which is easily learned, but it isn't that hard if you know what you're doing. And the main video will show you how to do this simply and elegantly. One last thing about estate agents. If you let them have what they perceive to be control of the process, even though you understand the game they are playing, and if you let them know what their game is by mentioning you want to make sure they make their commissions, then you are already in a very strong position with them. You keep control of the process, not them. I've spoken openly to estate agents many times, and when you get to know them and they let their guards down, the thing they love to talk about is their commissions. And the thing you have to realise is about you being in control of the process, you have the thing that they want: money. So let's recap on the recommendations, shall we? Make sure you mention the estate agent earning their commission as early on to show you understand what drives them. Personally, I'd use the tip on the main video and those above with the second viewing as a fallback to make sure they are out of the way. And finally, if you can't shake them and they attend the viewing, if they come at you about controlling the negotiation process, say you are just understanding their full position on the house to help make the decision before the negotiation starts. So perhaps all this talk about buying houses at the best possible price and talking to the estate agent and negotiations with the vendor seems like maybe just too much hard work. Maybe it sounds like I'm asking you to climb a mountain. Actually, the main video is really easy to follow, and the techniques are very simple but incredibly powerful. But if it were like climbing a mountain, just like Edmund Hillary, the first man to climb Mount Everest, wouldn't it be easier with a Sherpa to help with the hard work? The main video is your Sherpa. It shows you everything you need to know to get the lowest price, whether that's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 or even more. Apart from the video, or the videos, there is one small thing, and that's very important, that you'll need to do. You need to follow the instructions and ask for the discount in the way I tell you. This stuff really works, and it couldn't be simpler. If it does seem like a hard task, what do you think about climbing Mount Everest? I'm sure Edmund Hillary had a few hangovers for a week or two after he completed his mammoth task. He even got a knighthood. So if you'd asked him 2 weeks after the event if it was worth the pain and the effort and the planning, what do you think he would have said? I'm sure he would have said, of course it was. Do you think Mr. Bailey regretted using my video to get his 40,000 discount? No way. He is absolutely delighted. Do you think Mr. Payne regretted getting 10,000 off his house by just putting in a little bit of effort into a 15-minute house viewing he had to do in any case? No. He's really happy because he got the result that he wanted. So, let's recap where we've come so far with our journey with Buy a House for Less so we can see where we're going together. We've talked about how you can buy a house without a deposit. And we've also talked about Mr. Bailey, who saved £40,000 off the price of his home. And he's a very happy bunny. And we've talked about the 50 pence in your pocket me, forced to work on an egg farm to get money, and now I'm buying houses very smartly indeed at lovely discounts. And we've also talked about how you too can pose as a cash buyer or offer the same benefits as a cash buyer if you want to, so you'll be able to get a good saving. And we've talked about Mr. Payne, who managed to get 10,000 off the price of his house when there wasn't 10,000 to give. So an excellent bit of negotiation by using my videos, and another happy bunny customer. And today we've talked about estate agents, and I hope that as you recall the videos above, you'll get to see how you can start to use these techniques to start to buy your new home. All of these will really start to come together when you get the main video from Buy a House for Less, which really gives you the engine that will help you get the major discount. So before I sign off today, I'd like to thank you for listening to me, and if you're really serious about buying your next home at the best possible price, you need to take the first step now and make that teeny weeny investment in yourself and your education. I'm sure you can see the sense here, can you not? That's it for me. If you're serious about buying your house smartly and you're now ready to invest a little in yourself, click on the red bar either above or below this video, and let's get you into house buying mode. I can't wait to hear about your successes. So just click on the red link, buy the product, and good luck with your house buying.